Sights, sounds, and information just for you from your friends at ASM.
Welcome to the turn of night.
As far as I can recall, most everyone was fairly content with living here. As much as they could be, I suppose. This stretch of townhouses was built in the early 90s, and some folks have lived here since. After I arrived, other people I knew moved in shortly afterwards. One thing that always seemed odd to me was the one unit that no one lived in for long. I actually didn't notice until a young couple who had just moved in flipped out and smashed the place. Cops were called, neighbors and the superintendents were really uncomfortable, and everyone looked the other way as they moved out. I heard stories of stress, restless sleep, and bad dreams. I'm sure a lot of people have felt like that in the past while. One guy was just 3 months in. Right before summer, he was found barricaded in there screaming about the shadows or something. Uneventful is maybe how the next few weeks played out. The standard early summer cookouts and fireworks in the distance, cold drinks and backyard hangouts. The humidity could get uncomfortable, but AC helped. Still, something started. A friend of mine fainted for no reason and passed out for a minute. It's odd, but it could be any number of things that brought it on. A few days later, during a thunderstorm, the street blacked out. A group of us met late the next evening. It turns out that none of us could remember the day, and everyone spoke of weird dreams. Really odd that those were similar. A darkness that moved, eating the energy and will, turning everything you thought you loved and lived for into a bleak existence. We agreed it felt like we were being fed upon. We could not know how often or for how long it would continue. Was it spiritual? Elemental? Or were we just poisoned by a substance of some kind? Ducking outside for a smoke, one of our friends saw the lady who was the co-superintendent. She mentioned that her husband was away, but she didn't feel good after a lousy sleep the night before. Inviting her in, we told her our version of the events. She was as clueless as the rest of us, but being a bit older, confessed she'd heard of a similar case. She simply stated, "It is happening." The source, the root, the cause of all this had to have been brought on by something big. But where do we even start to find answers? The super promised she'd look into the names of past tenants as much as she could. The rain fell easier that night, and although we all probably slept due to exhaustion, we collectively knew this wasn't over. Whatever it is, it wasn't done feeding, and likely growing. The shadows would be back. Man, oh man, could we make it through this summer? Living like this?
The lights are on as the evening shadows are creeping in. Hopefully, you won't get caught in the turn of night.